Hey y'all, so I had just finished project 2 of my Data Analytics 1 QM237 class. So what we are given for project 2 is two different problems. We have problem 1 and problem 2. So for problem 1 we are given a set of data which was provided by my professor. So we have two different attributes in this data. We have years experience and then we have the salary. So what we are supposed to be doing for this problem is using linear regression in Excel to predict how the year's experience is affecting um, an employee's salary. So how we are going to do this is by using data analysis in Excel. So if you do not have that, then you need to go to File and then your add-ins, and then you need to add data analysis to Excel. So once you have that, you can go to your Data tab. And then under the analysis section, you will select data analysis. So the first step is you're going to be selecting what kind of data analysis you want to run. As I mentioned before, for this data, we're going to be using a linear regression. So you're going to select regression for this data. So the next thing, you're going to have to fill in some different options which are provided by Excel. So the first thing you need to input is your Y range. So Y always stands for your dependent variable. So in this example, salary is going to be our dependent variable because it is what we are trying to predict, and salary depends on the year's experience. So next you're going to need to input the X range. Um, so your X range is always going to be the independent variable. Um, so for this example, it's going to be year's experience because um, year's experience is what the salary depends on, and it's independent of itself. So we're going to need to input both of those ranges. So for the Y value, it's going to be B1 all the way down to B61. And then for our X range, it's going to be A1 all the way down to A61. So the next thing you need to select is if you have any labels or not. So obviously for this example, we have labels, years experience, and salary. We also need to select our output options. So for this spreadsheet, we want a new worksheet ply, and we want to name this worksheet ply results. As you can see, I did right here. The next thing you need to select is what kind of data you want. So we want as much data as possible, so we're going to select all the options. So you need to have residual selected, standardized residuals, residual plots, line fit plots, and lastly normal probability plots. So once you run that, you'll get a new spreadsheet in Excel, and it will have all this data. So I've already spread all my data out, so it's going to look a little bit different than yours, but all the data should be there. So while all this data is great, the main two things you want to look for is right here under coefficients. We're going to have the intercept value and the year's experience. So the intercept value is going to be the y-intercept, and then the year's experience is going to be the slope if we were going to plot the predicted values of salary over year's experience. And actually, we can see that right here where it shows the year's experience line plot fit. To better see and analyze this data, what we can do is press this plus button right here. Excuse me. Okay, and we need to add a trend line. So our trend line is going to be based off Series 2, which is the orange things. Those are the predicted values for us. So select Series 2, press OK, and then right here we have a line. So that's going to be our line of best fit. So if you want to, you can then actually double click on that line, and then it's going to pop up a trend line option sheet, and then you want to press display equation on chart. So as you can see, this equation form, which is the same, which gives us the same exact values it already gave us right here in our coefficient section where the intercept and years experience. So you can use this formula to predict any salary based on years experience by plugging the values into that formula. You do not have to do that, but as you can see, I already did that here. So for example, if we want to say an employee has 10 years of experience, then we can use that formula, as you can see I did here in the formula bar, to predict what their salary would be. So if you have 10 years of experience, then your salary will be approximately $120,000. So thank you. That is problem. Hey, so we're back with problem 2 of project 2. As you can see, the problem 2 is very similar to problem 1, other than we have different attributes and different values along with those attributes. So we have list price and best price. So for this problem, we are supposed to be using linear regression, the same exact method, to estimate and predict how list price is affecting the best price. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to go to our data tab, and then we're going to run data analysis. The only difference for this one is going to be the x values and the y values. So our independent variable is going to be list price, so the x value. So that's going to be A1 all the way down to A51. And then our y value, or dependent variable, is going to be the best price, which is going to be B1 all the way down to B151, because we are using list price to predict what the best price is going to be. So we're going to, other than that, we're going to select all the same options in data analysis, and then we're going to run the analysis. And then just like before, it's going to give you a results page that should be structured the exact same, except you're going to have different statistics in those tables. So as you can see, just like before, under coefficients, we're going to have our y-intercept, and then we're going to have our slope. I'm going to go ahead and show you again. We can add a trend line. You go to the plus option in your line fit plot chart. You're going to add a trend line. We're going to base it off the predicted best price. See, this one says it. I'm not sure why the other one said series 1 and 2. But you always want to use the predicted value. Okay, and then we're going to double click on our trend line. Nope. Okay. And then you want to display the equation on the chart. So as you can see, these values are the exact same values it already gave us in the table, except it's just giving us this data in the form of an equation. And obviously this step is optional, but just like before, you can use this equation in Excel, and it will work out and solve the equation for you. As you can see, I did this. I did 3.2911, which is the slope, times K43, which is the x value I'm going to input, plus 25.232, which is the y-intercept. So say if the list price is originally, let's say, $15, then we can predict that the best price is going to be around $75. So thank you. That is problem 2 of our project 2, and that's how I solved it.